Okay, starting Unit 7. This is a tough unit, okay? If you have questions and don't get something, you can't just wing it, or you're just going to dig yourself a hole for the second quarter, okay? I've given all the quizzes and tests I'm going to give for first quarter, okay? But second quarter will be a nightmare. You got to understand it lesson by lesson, okay? And keep up with your work. Okay, first off, I misspelled rate. That's supposed to say rate, okay? Determine whether each rate of change is constant. If it is, find the rate of change with the label. This is not all that hard, but you have to do it a specific way. You got to go from here to here, make a line, okay? Just trust me, it's a division line, okay? It's a ratio line. Then you have to go from here to here, that'd be another line. Then from here to here, and I'm finally to the top, so that'd be 3 lines, okay? Now you need to label it X, Y, and you need to put on each of these ratios before you put numbers in, okay, it's got to be the Y label on top, okay? So miles, minutes, the Y has to be on top. Y label on top. Because minutes per mile doesn't make any sense, miles per minute does. Okay, now how do you figure this out? Now here's what you do. You start at the bottom of the table and you take 21 minus 15. That's 6. You're going to put 6 miles. Then you go over here and take 4 minus 3. That's 1. 6 miles, 1 minute. Then you go 15 minus 12. That's 3. So 3 miles. 3 minus 2 is 1. 1 minute. 12 minus 6 is 6, so 6 miles, 1 minute. Now we need to divide all those, and they all need to be the same. If it's not, you write not constant, okay? So you take 6 divided by 1, that's 6. Well, 3 divided by 1 is 3, 6 divided by 1 is 6. They are not all the same, so you write not constant, and that is your answer. Now, if they don't go work on the assignment yet, because if it is constant, you don't just write constant, because it says if it's constant, you need to find the rate of change with the label. So why don't you see me find one where it's actually constant and see what to write then, okay? All right, same thing. Here to here, that's 1 line. Here to here, that's another line. Here to here, that's another line. Okay, remember, this is X, this is Y. Dollars goes on top, pencils on bottom. I don't care if they go at the end of the line or before, but those are the labels. You have to have it labeled right. Okay, so I take 3 minus $1.75. It's $1.25, okay. So that cost went up to $1.25. But in the meantime, 12 minus 7 is 5. So it went up $1.25 because you bought 5 pencils. Now let's go to the next one. $1.75 minus 1 is 75 cents. That's 0.75. Don't just put 75. So that increased. Well, from here to here, we changed by 75 cents, and then 7 minus 4 is 3. That was from buying 3 pencils. Then $1 minus 25 cents is going to be 75 cents. And then 4 minus 1 is 3. So 75 cents, 3 pencils. These are all rates of change. From here to here, it changed by $1.25. From here to here, it changed by 5 pencils. So $1.25 over 5. Here to here, it changed by 75 cents because that changed by 3 pencils. Okay? And then from here to here, that was 75 cents, 3. Now, actually, it makes more sense if you read the table forward, actually. I'll divide here in a bit. Don't rush here, okay? So, again, it makes more sense if you read the table forward. So, from here to here, it increased by 75 cents, and the pencils increased by 3. Increased by 75 cents, pencils increased by 3. Increased by $1.25, pencils increased by 5. So what we need to do is divide these, okay? So $1.25 divided by 5, I got 0.25. 75 cents divided by 3, 0.25. You want to get what this one's going to be, since it's the exact same rate as that, probably 0.25. Now it's constant. You write constant, but when it's constant, you need to write the constant with the label. This is how you do it. Well, your constant's 0.25. Now this is how you label a rate of change, okay? You make a small line, and you put dollars, and then pencil, but drop the S. That means every time you buy one pencil, the cost goes up by 25 cents, okay? Okay, next up, same idea. Okay, so time is minutes. So again, it's Y over X. You need the feet on top, the minutes on bottom. You cannot ignore that. It's Y over X, feet over minutes. Okay, now let's start at the bottom. So I take 24,000 minus 27,500. Yes, you need to put a negative. You can get a negative. 12 minus 5 is 7 minutes. Now let's go here, minus it. Negative 1,500 feet. 5 minus 2 is 3 minutes. You're minusing. Negative 1,000. How many minutes pass? Well, 2 minus 0 is 2. Now let's read the table forward, okay? So 2 minutes. So this went down by 1,000, well that increased by 2 minutes. This went down by 1,500, well that increased by 3 minutes. This went down, well that increased. Now let's divide to find the feet per minute rate. See if it's constant. Negative 500. Negative 500. Negative 1,000. Okay, it's constant again. So you write constant. But then when it's constant, you write negative 500, then you need to label it. Okay? You put feet, minutes. So that means it's going down 500 feet every minute. Don't write this, but that means don't write this next part. So that means if there was a 13-minute, okay, right there, to find what the elevation is in the 13th minute, you'd add negative 500. 22,500. And if there's a 14th minute, I add negative 500 again. Okay, that's how that works. Alright, I'll try to go slow through that. Now the next thing, you'll need your multiplication table for this. Find the slope of each line. You need to, this also, you got to get this down. I want you to label these points 1 and 2, but I want, this is left, okay? I want the point closest to that as point 1, and I want the other one as point 2. Now, here's what a slope is. It's a ratio. It's a ratio of rise over run, okay? So you start at point 1. Do you have to go up or down to get to that point? You have to go straight up or straight down. You'd have to go straight up. So you count by positive squares as you do it when you're going up. Positive 1, positive 2, positive 3. Stop because you're right across from it. So plus 3. Rise is positive 3. Now the run is always forward. That's why you need to do the 1, 2 correctly, okay? Because you want to always go forward with the run. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have to go, and it has to be done like that. No other way. 3 over 4. Now I want you to write the fraction 3/4. Find a row that has both 3 and 4 on the table. It's just in the first row. So if you divide by 1, it stays the same. 3 over 4. Now, if I had like 4 over 6, those are in the second row, so I divide them by 2, Okay, so watch that. Okay, next one, slope equals rise over run. This is left. What point is closest to that? This one, okay? That's closer to that than this one is. That's 2. Okay, start at point 1. Do you have to go up or down? You'd have to go down now, so you count by negatives. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So you write -5. And the run would be 1, 2. The run's always going to be positive if you do it right, okay? Point furthest to the left is point 1. Okay, so -5 over 2. Can we reduce that? Well, here's 2, but there's no 5. Here's 2 and 5, but it's just row 1, so when you divide by 1, it stays the same. -5 over 2. If it's just in the first row, it can't be simplified. But again, if you get like 6 and 9, that's in the third row, so they'd each be divided by 3, and that's your slope. Okay, rise over run, okay? This is left, so this is point 1, this is point 2. You put your pencil on point 1, okay? You'd have to go up first, that's your rise, +1, +2. So +2 is my rise, then my run, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 and 5 are just in the first row together, so divide them each by 1, and it's 2/5. Then finally, rise over run. This is how you slope. This is left, that's point 1, that's point 2. Start at point 1. You go up or down first. Well, you'd have to go down, so count by negatives. -1, -2, -3, -4. Stop when you're right across. So -4 is the rise. Then the run, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you got -4 over 5. Are those together anywhere but the first row? I don't think so. So divide by 1. It just stay the same. There is a problem where they're not both in the first row. Okay,